Excuse me, brothers and sisters, please. If someone could just turn off.
King looked out on his people and saw they were in great need. So he did what all great leaders do. He told them the truth.
Will you ignorant niggas please shut the hell up?
He just said what I think he said.
Is this it? This is what I got all those ass whoopings for? I had a dream once. It was a dream that little black boys and little black girls would drink from the river of prosperity, freed from the thirst of oppression. But lo and behold, some 4 decades later, what have I found but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggers? And I know some of you don't want to hear me say that word. It's the ugliest word in the English language, but that's what I see now, niggers. And you don't want to be a nigger, because niggers are living contradictions. Niggers are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggers wax and wane. Niggers love to complain. Niggers love to hear themselves talk but hate to explain. Niggers love being another man's judge and jury. Niggers procrastinate until it's time to worry. Niggers love to be late. Niggers hate to hurry. Black entertainment television is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Usher, Michael Jackson is not a genre of music. And now I'd like to talk about soul playing. I've seen what's around the corner. I've seen what's over the horizon. And I promise you, you niggas have nothing to celebrate. And no, I won't get there with you. I'm going to Canada.
Yo, 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 what's good? It's your boy, the Las Vegas Legends. I'm here. Happy Martin Luther King Day, January 16, 2023. It's Martin Luther King Day. My nigga actually was born on the 15th, though. Martin Luther King Jr. was born January the 15th, 1929. If y'all ever want to know. He was born on January 15th. But they usually celebrate that shit on like a Monday. I don't know. The calendar is so fucking weird. But anyways, Martin Luther King Jr. was born January 15th, 1929. He passed away. He was assassinated. He didn't pass in his sleep. He was murdered. He was murdered. And he died April 4th, 1968. He was an American Baptist minister, activist, and one of the most prominent leaders in the civil rights movement from 1955 until his untimely death in 1968. And he was born in the A-Town. Shout out to my man. He was also the first president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which some people might say that's what got him killed. You know, them might be the people that got him up out of here. He was a Morehouse man. He went to Crozer Theological Seminary. That's where he learned to, he got his knowledge and things to be a reverend. And he has a PhD and from Boston University, which we're going to talk about that later as well. Some of the awards Dr. Martin Luther King has had is the Nobel Peace Prize. And he's also been awarded in his death the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal. So this is an amazing black man in American history. He's done a lot in his lifetime. Shout out to Martin Luther King. When he died, he was only 39 years old. Let that sink in for you, man. When he died, he was 39 years old. A lot of y'all that's watching is 39 years old or older. Or y'all like me and y'all are going to be 38, damn near 39, or y'all 37. And like to think about all the shit he accomplished in his life in those 39 years is just amazing because he died in 1968. So damn near 60 years later, we still talking about this man's life, his 39 years of living. Like, wow, that's amazing. Some of the things we could do as humans in such a short amount of time. Um, I always grew up. I was born in Georgia. I I grew up here in Las Vegas, so I've always heard about Martin Luther King and had a respect for his accomplishments and him as a person. Um, Martin Luther King Day is always a nice day out here in Vegas. The parade happens out here. It's just a good time, and it's good to see the black community in Nevada like get together. Like, you see black people in and out of the city, and of course, we exist in every city, but to see us all have a reason to get together, and it's not a club, it's not a party. We actually on a parade. We actually exhibiting ourselves and our businesses and our youth and our community people. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Um, I love Martin Luther King Day in Las Vegas. It's a great day. I'm just gonna read a couple of things. This is called the whitewashing of Dr. Martin Luther King, and we're gonna head on out. Before a recent public opinion polls show, nearly 90% of Americans have a positive opinion of Dr. Martin Luther King today. With his celebrated legacy in the present day, it is often forgotten that during the last years of his life, he was extremely unpopular among the American public. 2 years before his assassination, 63% of Americans held a negative view of Dr. Martin Luther King. So that just goes to show you how much times have changed, how much as people in America we've become more tolerant and educated about one another. And I ain't surprised he was hated back then because he was preaching about change. He wanted to change things. Dr. Martin Luther King started to become unpopular during the last couple years of his life as his activism shifted from predominantly focusing on the struggle for civil rights to adopting an interdisciplinary approach where he articulated how the oppression of African Americans cannot be separated from U.S. militarism aboard in American capitalism. So, what does that say? He was a socialist, right? Was he a socialist? I think so. And American American government does not like socialism, and they don't like you talking down on the military. Also, before he died, he started linking up with people like Malcolm X. So his his Christian approach was starting to become uh, his Christian approach became more aggressive. Like Dr. Martin Luther King was always a peaceful guy because he was a pastor. Like, you want to hear the pastor telling you to go fight and kill and everything. Like, the Christians don't believe in the white devil; they just believe in the devil. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you want this nigga to tell y'all it's the white man's fault or it's the devil's fault and it's evil's fault. He a pastor, but as he started to, get around other leaders, he started he started to switch his focus to where he's like preaching, but he preaching to the people, not to the church. He preaching to the people. During the last year of his life, Dr. Martin Luther King began to explicitly express his opposition to the Vietnam War on the basis of its imperialistic nature, along with the fact that the war efforts absorbed money and resources that could have been used on social welfare and anti-poverty. See, when you talking about certain shit, nobody cares. When you asking for black people to have rights in a country where they don't even want you to have shit in, nobody cares. You just another black person bitching to them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a fuck. But when you start talking about what they doing wrong and how it affects everybody, not just one particular people, but the head of this body is fucked up, then you starting to shake the leaves, and that's what he was doing. So just think if he'd have lived 39 more years. You know what I'm saying? Right before his assassination, Dr. King began organizing a Poor People's Campaign. The campaign was building a multiracial coalition that demanded poverty reduction efforts through income and housing reform. Among the demands was a commitment to full employment, a guaranteed income program, and expansion of low income housing. Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy has been continuously whitewashed as his anti-Vietnam War stance and his critiques of American capitalistic systems are often omitted from discussions of his life. On the following slides are a few Dr. King quotes that were conveniently neglected by the mainstream media on MLK Day, but not here, baby. We must recognize that we can't solve our problems now until there is radical redistribution of economic and political power. This means a revolution of value and other things. We must now see that the evils of racism, economic exploitation, and militarism are all tied together. You can't really get rid of one without getting rid of the other. The whole structure of American life must be changed. America is a hypocritical nation and we must put our own house in order. Can I get a horn for my nigga MLK right now? He'll be so mad if he heard me calling him that. See, the media want you to think Martin Luther King was on some I don't want to say peaceful shit. They'll think he was on. They'll have you thinking he was on some soft shit, and then how you think he was on some leading blind people to nothing shit, or he just had a dream, but he didn't have real visions that manifested into real things. But he really had the right idea, and he was telling his people that people didn't like that because it was going against, like I said, the American Christian value. Like back in those days, they didn't question a lot of things. They didn't question God. They didn't question God's will. They didn't question what they was taught in those theology schools and different shit. They was okay with getting their tithes and offerings and driving a Cadillac. But Martin Luther King started to question and see that it's not only a color thing, whites holding down blacks and different things. It's a people thing. It's an economic thing. It's a political thing. It's things that really have to be eradicated to make changes for the better. One day we must ask the question, why are there 40 million poor people in America? And when you begin to ask that question, you're raising a question about the economic system. You're asking a question about the economic system, about a broader distribution of wealth. When you ask that question, you begin to question the capitalistic economy. And I'm simply saying that more and more, we got to begin asking questions about the whole society. Can't be mad at the KKK when the government is the KKK, or the tax writers and the IRS members are in the KKK. Like, nigga, we got to start questioning everything. Because guess what, too? This right here is the backbreaker. And I hope y'all have been tuned in long enough to hear the backbreaker. But it's rich niggas out here. It's rich black people. It's black people that's been rich forever. Every black person that live and reside in this country ain't poor. Everybody, every black person in this country didn't grow up on food stamps and shit. A lot of these black people are wealthy, very, very, very wealthy. And so now, instead of white versus black or this versus that, nigga, it's rich against poor. Because that's really the problem, right? If people, right, if the descendants from the slaves, yeah, we look at the brutality of it, but it's like you're up and you being up and your pursuit of being up and your pursuit of being rich and having all this nice shit is from the expense of people and hurting people and keeping them down. So it's like, yeah, we wouldn't mind working in a cotton field, nigga, if y'all was giving us money and giving us a chance to have the same, maybe not the same amount, but the same opportunity at the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. It becomes something deeper than black versus white. It's now the 40 million poor people in America versus the 1 million or 10 million rich people in America. That's when you have to think about society in a whole nother aspect. Because, yeah, there is racism, but the bigger enemy is the economic distribution in our society. And that's because this is a capitalist society. I know I went on about that, but I feel like that was the most powerful quote. Again, we have deluded ourselves into believing the myth that capitalism grew and prospered out of the Protestant ethic of hard work and sacrifice. The fact is that capitalism was built on the exploitation and suffering of black slaves and continues to thrive on the exploitation of the poor, both black and white, both here and far. See, Martin Luther King, he a lot of people say, oh, Martin Luther King is sellout because he wanted black people and white people to be equal and we was better separated. But what he saw was something different. He saw us as humans and not colors. He saw that the problems that was in America was not only affecting his people, but it was affecting all Americans. And if all Americans as human are created equal, then why are we not treated that way? Free labor, 100% profit. You don't give none of that shit. You don't redistribute that shit to the barns or none of that shit the slaves was living in. You don't take care of the poor white people that break their backs and crawl through the mines and different shit they was doing. It creates a system of hate. And that's all he was saying. That was the deeper meaning behind what Martin Luther King was really saying, especially in his last years of his life. And I think it's important that we remember that because a lot of people will tell you different shit about Martin Luther King, and it's always um, downplaying his true message and his true dream. The true dream, they play that fucking speech over and over every year. But his real dream was for black and white people to be equal financially. For everybody to have the opportunities that the American country provides. Like, this is the best country in the world. Why is there poor people here? There shouldn't be. You know, we're going to have our drug addicts. We're going to have our gamblers, different people that misuse their money and stuff like that. But, like, people just born into poverty for no reason, just because of where they live or their family, like, that's not right. That's not fair. That's not American. You know, that ain't what God intended for us when He had us. And that's what He was saying. So, shout out to Martin Luther King, man. Martin Luther King Jr., one of the best men to ever walk this American plane. I hope that your spirit has elevated 1,000 times, man, and that you are pleased with the progress that we have made as a people. Because from 1968 to 2023, we've had a black president, we have a black vice president, we have so many more young entrepreneurs that are minorities and that are in government, and we have people trying to make changes. The process sometimes could be slow, but as long as it's forward process and forward progress, it's still a movement and it's still moving. So everybody that's helping keep the wheels turning to the forward, to the front, I salute y'all myself personally. Shout out to Martin Luther King and your family. Now, with all that deep shit, whatever you want to call it, being said, what is these homosexuals doing on here? With all that being said, let's talk about this shit right here. Because this right here got me hot. And as y'all heard, Martin Luther King did attend Boston University. That's where he got his PhD. But this right here got me hot. What the hell is this statue? What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? This looks like a giant penis being held by two arms. And it's supposed to be the embrace. It's supposed to be a representation of Coretta Scott King being hugged by Martin Luther King. They could have kept this shit though. Y'all could have kept this shit. Y'all could have kept this shit for real. What is this? What is this, y'all? Boston University. Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. What the hell is this, y'all? Y'all got a bracelet on her. Who the hell made this? We gonna have to look and see who the hell. We need to get. I need the credits, man. I need the credits. If I'm gonna get on y'all ass, if I'm gonna get on 2C's ass, I'm definitely gonna get on your ass, nigga. Whoever you are, believe that. Y'all insulting the community. This penis statue. Okay. Hank Willis Thomas. Bring your ass here, boy. Hank Willis Thomas. Let's see who the fuck. Let's see what you look like, bro. Let's see what you look like, bro. You probably like you have a small penis. And that's all that's on your mind every day is penis, bro. Cause what the hell are you doing, bro? Oh, you black. Oh, you're fucking black. I'm disappointed, man. 46. I'm disappointed in this motherfucker. Who are you, bro? Who are you, bro? Based in Brooklyn, New York? You a New York nigga, bro? Okay, you was born in 1976, so you wasn't even alive when he was around. When Martin Luther King was walking this earth, I can't believe a black man did this. I can't believe a black man did this. And then it's like, okay, I see these football things and shit, nigga. That's what you probably should have been sticking to because they look cool. But what the hell, bro? Had to be a black dude, Hank Willis Thomas. Had to be a damn. What is this, bro? What is this? How much they pay you to do this shit, bro? How much they pay you to do this? Make a mockery of Martin Luther King out of all people, bro. On his, his birthday today. Why is you doing this shit, dog? How y'all feel about the statue, man? I feel like the statue is some bullshit. That's why I had to play that Boondocks clip in the beginning because y'all, a lot of y'all just really don't give a damn. A lot of y'all just really don't give a damn. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives for real. Some of y'all just on this earth intaking and outtaking oxygen. Y'all ain't living for real. Y'all just some fucking robots, cause ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell we done lost all these strong, intelligent, powerful black people for some of the shit that our people be doing. Niggas getting on the internet, got shot, talking about their baby mama. Niggas is making statues honoring people and it look like a big ass penis coming out the ground. Cut the boo boo, man. Cut the boo boo. Man, y'all let me know how y'all feel, man. Regardless, happy Martin Luther King Day. Y'all be blessed.